And welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the executive producer, Mr. Benji Nassim. We got Christopher Duarte, aka Parasite. We got the one and only Slayer, Patrick Price Aches. And then we got a special guest in the building for you guys. Left fielder for the New York Yankees. Give it up for Willie Calhoun. What's going on, Willie? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, bro. How are y'all doing?
Good, brother. Good, man. It's awesome to have you on, man. I'm a big New York Yankee fan. My brother's freaking out right now. He's already sending me text messages and stuff. Born and raised from the East Coast, man, from Jersey. So, you know, we watched the Yankees a lot growing up, you know? So, big fan, man. Big fan. It's awesome to have you on.
I love that, bro. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I've been a part of the community for a minute, bro. So, I love doing this type of stuff.
Yeah, talk to me about it. Sorry to cut you off there, Ben. Talk to me about it, Willie. I know that you're really into COD and really into the CDL. Have you been watching it for a long time? Do you play yourself?
Bro, honestly, like, I've been playing COD ever since, dude, I was, like, young, bro. Like, I was probably, like, 13 years old, 12, 13. And then it started off with S&D, and then it gradually got into like the GBs, like the game battle XP matches.
Yeah.
And then it got into like the tournaments, and then it got into like the wagers. But yeah, ever since I was younger, bro. Even like I was following it for a while though. I've been following it for a really long time. I love COD.
That's crazy. So you were playing GBs and stuff. So you're an OG, man. You've been doing this, huh?
Willie literally plays chows. Like, he's basically an S&D kid that's a professional baseball player.
That's crazy. That's insane. Yeah. That is absolutely insane. Go ahead, Ben, if you had a question for Willie.
That's why I wanted to get you on, Willie, because I think a lot of people obviously have seen some of your baseball exploits. Obviously, starting off with the Yankees this year, but like a lot of people don't know about your COD background. So like you played a lot of those S&D chows, but I know you like went to a couple tournaments or like following competitive COD. Like when did that start? Sort of the S&D chow process.
Bro, honestly, like I didn't really like I said, I got really into like game battles, like XP matches. Like I'll like honestly, I always use like when I was growing up, like video games was like an outlet like outside of sports. Like I grew up, obviously sports was my passion. Like as soon as I got home from school and like got done with doing workouts, I would want to hop on and play game battle matches with my friends. And then like I started following it closely, and then that's when I started following that's when I found out like there's actually like professional like video game teams. And even like to this day, like I would tell like my fiance, I was like, hey yo, like people make a lot of money playing video games and stuff like that. So and then and then I was like that's just like a passion of mine that I've always had, like I've always had that passion for video games. And later down the road, when I'm done with baseball, when I'm all said and done with baseball, I think I want to get into like investments, like making like a professional team. I'm really passionate about that.
That's sick, man. It's cool to hear how much you love video games and play it all the time. I mean, is it hard balancing it? Like, I know you probably like to play it on your free time. Today you have an off day, so were you able to get some games in today, or what's an off day looking like for you? Because I'm sure your schedule is pretty brutal.
Oh, bro, my schedule during the season, I have honestly no time to play. Like, I never play during the season. It's just too hard, bro. Like, I mean, bro, don't get like a lot of players like low key play video games like in the league too. Like a lot of not like competitively, but like like when guys don't want to like go outside and like they just want to chill like in the hotel and just relax for the day. A lot of guys bring their system.
That's sick.
Get some games in. They play. A lot of guys play Warzone. Obviously, you got a lot of guys that play like the public matches and stuff like that. But
yeah.
For me, it was always like I'm super competitive. For me, like it was always something like I wanted to play something that like meant something, which was back then, which was GVs. But now it's like people playing for hundreds of dollars and stuff like that. So it's honestly I just love it, bro. I'm really passionate about video games.
That's awesome.
Do any of your baseball teammates like know about your history in like esports, or do any of them also like follow COD competitively at all?
I know some guys like on my team right now. They know that I'm pretty good. Like I'm not good. Like don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm a beast. Like when I get when I play COD, like I'm good for like for being like an athlete. Like I'm good like when it comes to that, but I'm not good when it comes to like playing against other kids that like play it like for their jobs. You know what I mean? So but they do know that like I'm pretty good. Like if I were to play against them, like I would be pretty confident.
Yeah, you're the best in
I
the
would
locker
be
room.
pretty confident. Yeah, for sure. Like if you were to put me up in a free for all with anyone else like in the league, I'm pretty confident I can take anyone else down like athlete wise.
What other 3 guys on your baseball team would you bring on if you were a 4v4 team to play Call of Duty with you?
Good question.
Damn, that is a good question, bro. Like I'm just going like off of guys that are competitive. Like I mean, obviously everyone's competitive, but like guys that like love video games like that. I would definitely bring. I would want Tommy Canely on my team.
Hell yeah.
Tommy Canely, I know he plays a little bit. I would want Glaber on my team. So it's just me and 3 other players, right? In a 4v4?
Yeah, you need one more.
Yeah, you need one more.
You need one more.
Okay. So Tommy, Glaber, and I would probably do like maybe Volpe, Anthony Volpe. He's a young kid, man. He'll have those cat-like reflexes when it comes to that type of stuff. I'd say those 3. But I know GT. I know Glaber plays Warzone, or he used to at least. So I know that he would know the fundamentals of it. I know Tommy plays, and then I would bring probably Volpe. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, the young guns are crazy, Willie. Even in the pro league, bro, there's a lot of just young, talented players coming up now. Even people who are like 16, 17 years old, because you can't play till you're 18. But
yeah, bro, it's crazy, bro. Like honestly, like I grew up like I've seen kids that like are like Scrappy, for example.
yeah,
I literally left him tickets to my game when we played in Toronto last week or 2 weeks ago. I left Scrappy some tickets and he came out to the game, but it's like kids like that, bro. Like I grew up like when that kid was a little kid playing
it's crazy.
SMD.
No, that's too crazy.
I was playing SMD with Scrappy. Another guy is Proloot, Mohawk,
Okay.
Yeah.
like all those kids.
Money
Like I played with those kids. Like so, it's honestly mind blowing that Mohawk's not a pro yet either. I mean that whole thing is.
It's a good shout from
If
Willie.
I were to make a team, if I were making a team right now, I would invest in Money Mo, man. That kid's been a grinder. I mean, I think I would give him an opportunity because I've seen that dude. Like, I saw something like I said, I don't follow the league like that, like religiously. Like, I like keep here and there. Obviously, I keep in touch with like the guys that I played SMD and stuff with here and there, but. From what I saw that Mohawk won didn't he win 2 amateurs or something like that? I don't know.
He won 2 amateur COD champs basically.
Yeah, see, I saw that and I was like, dang, how is he not a pro yet? I didn't really know. Like I said, I don't know the logistics of the COD and how it works and stuff like that. So
his challengers team M7's really good. I mean, Chris,
they're a really good
they're
team.
probably one of the favorites for champs. They've been
they are good. Proloot won 3 elite tournaments, like the online elites, in a row when he got dropped from Vegas, and then Mohawk was on the team for 2 of those. But they had a pretty poor showing at I think the last LAN, so they're obviously looking to bounce back because I think they're auto qualified for the actual champs. So
yeah, they're auto qualified.
They got another opportunity to show out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent down there for sure too, Will. They're not playing like easy players and challengers. Like there's a lot of people in there, and Mohawk especially. He you're right. He has found a lot of success in challengers. I think a lot of people, you're not the only one who's been calling for Mohawk to come up and come into the scene. A lot of people think he's a really good player. People used to call him a mini Illy. They called him a mini Illy.
That one's crazy. I mean, Illy, that dude was unbelievable at search, bro. Every single time, and like I said, I'm horrible compared to these dudes. I'm not nothing. I'm not saying anything. Those dudes are unbelievable, bro. But I would just be every time I would play him, I'd be like, bro, do I even want to play? Should I just give him the money now? He's literally just robbing me blind. I don't even know if I want to play the guy.
Nah, that's not right, bro. He's robbing you clean.
I got a question. So you obviously played game medals, wagers, all that stuff. When you were a little bit younger. What was the first Call of Duty title you ever played? And then what's the first Call of Duty title that you really started like watching competitive COD like at all?
That's a good question. So okay, so the first COD title I actually played, this is how you know I'm an OG, man, is COD, the original COD 4.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's my first one too.
That's,
Yup.
that's where I started as well.
Yup.
Yeah.
That one was godlike.
The COD 4, bro, when shipment, like when I would just play pubs and try to get 100 kills in a pub match, that's when it first started. And then I would say like when I started following professionally, I would say like y'all were in the league when I would follow professionally. Like I would say probably like Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 is when I was started following like professional like teams. Like that's when I started like figuring out about
like the original Modern Warfare 2, like you
Like
knew
the
Team
OG.
Fear and-
That's like the PCQ days.
I'm talking about with like Fear Moho and
Damn. He's going way back. My man's an OG. That's
I'm
tippable.
talking
That's
about-
respectable.
I'm talking about the OG.
That's sick. That is so sick. I didn't know you were tuning in since then, bro. I had no idea. That's crazy.
Bro, exactly, bro. Like I said, bro, I've been following COD for a long time, bro. Like a very long time, and like I said, it's just a passion that I have, and you know, like I said, when I'm done with baseball, man, like, and I want to start up the esports team, like, that's definitely something I would be like interested in for sure.
That'd be sick. That'd be super dope.
Willie, like, if you're gonna start a team, like, would you ever sign up? You know, Pat is on the show here, and Pat's got a famous, $3 million over 3 years offer. You're starting a team. Were you bringing Pat up as his offer price, or were you?
Maybe Pat might change his offer since it's Willie. You gonna change your offer, Pat, or no?
No, that's a discount. That's still a discount.
Hey, bro, I would be all in, bro. I would trust you guys running my team at any time.
Wait, real quick. Now that I think about it, you're talking about bringing on Pat. If you had access to every single player in the league right now, and you can't put together an identical team, so no teams that are currently formed, who are you picking up? You need 2 assault rifle players and 2 sub players.
Okay, here we go. This is so am I on the roster? I'm off the roster, right?
No, you're GM. You are GM right now.
You're building the roster. Yep.
And I'm talking about everybody in their prime, right?
Yes,
yeah. Let's go back in their prime. Yeah.
You need a okay. So hold on. Let's do 2. This is gonna be great. Where we can do prime, so we can do all players ever. You're like because you're
I'll do all players ever for sure.
And then you can do now like that's gonna be a roster that is gonna like succeed for future CODs.
Okay, so I'm a GM, right? So
Yes.
I love this. Okay, so we're going. So I'm gonna start off with the all times. All right, we'll go. Ah, man, it depends. Is this a jetpack COD or is this like a boots?
Nah,
Let's just assume it's a normal COD and it's the OG. It's the OG.
Good question.
Okay. All right. So obviously, for marketing reasons, I'm looking at it as a businessman, and I'm trying to put the best people on the map. Okay. So give me Scumpy.
100%. That's starting off hot.
Gotta.
Give me Scumpy for a sub. AR. I'm talking about like prime AR.
Yeah, you can go with the OGs. I'll fill people in if they're not like.
He's gonna say Clayster, Scump, or he's gonna say Clayster, chat.
AR. I mean,
you might say Clay or Formal.
Fucking. And this is my dog, bro. I love Dashi.
Oh, okay. Okay, going with one of the newer gens.
Bruce doesn't miss, so I like that.
This is like a newer gen.
Yep, Big Boosie don't miss.
Bruce, in reality, if he played older CODs with like the way he is now, he would actually be.
Oh, he would slam. He would slam for sure.
He would slam.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
So we have those 2, right? I'm gonna throw some OGs in there though.
That's fun.
It's
Man,
hard, bro.
I might gotta throw my boy Tommy in there, man.
Yo, hey, if you want to throw me in there, Willie, you throw me in there. You know, I mean, a lot of people want to see me and Scump play. You know, they want to see it.
Unironically, that was almost a team, at least with Tommy and Seth.
Really?
Almost.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, right? Almost.
World War II.
World War II. Yeah, it was close.
I threw my boy Tom in there.
Let's go, Willie. Let's go, dude. I like that.
Okay, so I need one more, right?
You need
you
like
need
a
an AR.
flex. Get like an AR, like a
Wait,
flex
you
player.
need an
Somebody who could do it
IGL.
all.
You need an AR IGL because you got like the young guns on your team. Like in their
Okay.
primes, in their primes, these guys are all like the young guns. You know what I mean? You need a
Okay,
IGL.
I need a presence on the map.
Yeah, you need a
I'm
leadership.
thinking- dude, honestly, this might sound crazy. Nah, dude, give me Karma.
Nah, that's
I
not
mean,
crazy
yeah,
at all. That is a
yeah, that's
fantastic
not
pick.
bad.
It's honestly between Damon and Prim Six. I was gonna go between those two.
That's
but,
fire. That's
I,
sick.
ne-
That's
I,
not
need, I,
bad.
need, I need a leader on that team, man. Yeah, that's what I would go with.
All right,
like,
that's
the
your
all-
OG squad all time. Now you need a current CDL roster that's prepared for the future. No current teams.
Okay.
The new gens. You got access to everyone. You got your simps,
Okay.
the BZs, you got your shotsies,
Yeah.
you got it all.
Okay. Ooh, okay, I like this. So if I'm making a team right now and I'm an owner and GM of a team right now, give me Scrap for the AR. I want my
Okay.
boy Scrap.
That's a good pick.
Cause I've seen Scrap from the bottom. That kid has came from the bottom with me. I would bring him out. I mean, he's already there now, but I would bring Scrap with me. Give me him for
Oh, yeah.
AR. Give me a BZ.
Mhm.
Obviously,
Okay.
I played MWR with him and Tupac a lot, so I know what BZ brings, and he's obviously a beast. Let me see.
It's a really good team so far. It's a really good first two picks.
A BZ Scrap. So I need a flex, right?
Yeah, you probably go with like
yeah.
a Scrap can kind of be a
Scrap
flex
is an
too.
AR.
Your flex.
Just an AR,
Scrap can
one
do
AR,
either.
one sub. Just pick one AR and one
One
sub.
AR, and one sub.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Give me. See, like I've been keeping a little bit on this game, but give me the smoke and give me cred. Give me cred.
I like that.
Okay.
Give me cred, and then so wait, he's a sub. Actually,
Yeah, he's a sub.
no. Who's that dude? That the dude from the NYSL.
Yeah,
That,
Paco. You're thinking of Hydra. Yep.
you know,
The French phenom?
yeah, he's the new kid, the new young guy. The
Yeah.
sub.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's
He,
from
Hydra. He's
France.
from France. He's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tommy's son.
yeah. Give me that kid.
He's like my nephew.
Yes, give me that kid. I'm sorry, I didn't know who it was exactly.
Nah, you're good. And he's fairly new, and you'll know. He just got MVP at the last major. He went crazy.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he just got MVP. He's insane. Like he was frying all weekend.
Interesting enough, I don't know how much you know, like been following lately, but you just picked 3 MVP contenders. Like they're all in the contest for
Yeah.
MVP
Really?
Yeah, you picked a really good team.
of this game. So you picked a really good team so far.
You picked
I
the most
need-
expensive team of all time.
Hey,
Hire me.
hey,
It's a
hey,
big market team, baby. Don't worry about that.
Hey, I love winning, man. Give me the winners. I want the winners on my team,
I
man.
like that.
And then
You need one more at AR. Yeah.
AR, okay. I mean, I gotta go with Brandon, right? I mean, I picked him with the
Yeah,
last
you
time.
like
Yeah, you could go with Brucey for sure.
Besides, okay, let me get someone besides Brandon now. So I got Scrap, a BZ, Hydra, and I need an AR.
Yep.
I got one more AR. Honestly, give me my boy Draza.
It's a good pick as
Give me my
well.
boy Draza.
Wait, that is the villain team. Bro.
That is a villain team. That is a villain team. I love that. I love that team. That team is fire. That's a really good team, Willie.
Give me that team. Give me that team, and that team's winning me a shit, man, right away.
I like that, man.
Crowd don't get loud.
Yo,
I
Willie.
love that.
That's all right.
Willie, I wanted to ask you because we've been talking a lot about COD, but I'd love to know a little bit more about just baseball. You know, like, bro,
I got you, bro.
you're in the locker room with the Yanks. You know, the New York Yanks. I mean, what's it like? Did you ever think one day you'd be playing with the Yanks and being up in the big leagues and doing this stuff? I mean, I'm sure you dreamed of it as a kid.
Man, bro, I'm gonna be real with you guys, man. Like, if you would have told me I would have been suiting up for the New York Yankees last year at the same time, I would have said you're crazy. I literally would have said you're crazy, bro. Just because when you're a kid, you obviously have dreams and inspirations and this and that. And it might sound corny, but every kid that plays baseball wants to put on those pinstripes. You know what I mean? Like, as
Yeah.
a kid, you dream of playing in Yankee Stadium. You dream of hitting a home run in Yankee Stadium. You dream of all these things that have to do with the Yankees, and to be able to play for this organization has been pretty surreal, honestly. Being in that clubhouse with dude, I mean, those dudes are superstars in that clubhouse, bro. I'm literally suiting up with a dude that broke the home run record last year,
Yeah.
Itachi.
Yeah.
Playing, suiting up, and that I hit behind him the last 2 games. I
Yeah,
think
you
he
batted
hit
third,
second, I hit
right?
third.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy,
the
bro.
last
That is
2 games,
insane.
I mean, it's been just suiting up with this team has been an amazing opportunity, and it's been fun, a lot of fun so far. Like I said, bro, it's been not only that, but they're even better people in that clubhouse. Even off the field, like they're more than just great ball players. They're great human beings as well. So it's been fun, bro. Honestly, and I'm excited, bro. We have a really good team this year where everyone's coming back. We get Giancarlo back, we get JD back, we get Tommy Canley back, and we still have some guys that are coming back, and Carlos Rodon. So I mean, bro, we're it's a fun team definitely to be a part of.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can answer this. Feel free to say no. But what do you think about the new rules? How they're trying to speed up the game a little bit? Do you like the flow of the game a little bit better?
Oh, I mean, no, I mean, I honestly, I don't have a problem with the pace of play, with the clock and with all that type of stuff. Yeah, I know some guys are kind of like on the fence about it, but
Uh,
like individually speaking, like personally for me, I mean, I really don't mind the clock. I usually, I don't take much time anyways. I'll take a swing and then I don't even step out. I kind of just stay in the box.
yeah.
I don't really walk around or anything. But I know some guys aren't really fans of it, but I think everyone's starting to get acclimated to it now, and it hasn't been that big of an issue.
Yeah, I guess one more question I have, and then I'll give it to the floor and see if anybody has any more questions. But
Yeah,
one more
I
question
got a
is just who was your favorite baseball player growing up? Who was somebody that you looked up to? Who was somebody that you always used to watch and on TV and stuff? Like who was that guy?
Yeah, honestly, it was Barry Bonds. I grew up in the Bay Area in California,
Mm,
so everyone back home always was a fan of Barry Bonds. That was just the guy who we would go. I would ask my parents like, "Hey, can I go to a baseball game?" And preferably the Giants games because Barry Bonds obviously hit a lot of home runs.
yeah,
Um, and that was just a guy that I would go to the field and I would hope that he would hit a homer and he would hit a home run. So, yeah, he was definitely a guy. Obviously, a hometown guy for me is he's like a mentor too. At the same time as CC Sabathia,
oh yeah,
we're from the same we're from the same city. So, he was like a guy that everyone back home looked up to and figured that CC made it, and he kind of like showed everyone back home that if he can make it, then like we all have an opportunity to try and make it as well. So
that's awesome.
those are two guys that I definitely looked up to when I was younger.
Man, my brother loves CC. Man, he loves him. I'm sure somewhere he's cheesing right now, listening to that. He's a big CC fan.
Sure.
But yeah,
For sure, bro.
any questions, Chris, Ben, Pat?
I got one. He partially answered one. So, seeing as you're a California boy, I'm assuming since you play for the Yankees, you live in the East Coast now. What do you prefer, and how has life been over there? Like since we haven't really got to hear much of your personal life outside of just baseball and gaming. And what do you also prefer?
Like, bro, honestly, like it's gonna be this off season is gonna be a lot different. Usually, like I said, usually in the off season, bro, like as soon as the season's over, all the COD kids know this. As soon as the season's over, I'll hook up my system. I'll hook up my setup. I'll get my setup all situated. It'll take me about probably honestly. I hit up Matt last year from Optic, and I asked him if he can set up my stuff for me in my apartment in Dallas, and he came over, set it up for me, and I was literally playing within that day, like at the next day as soon as the off season started. But this year it's gonna be a lot different, man. I think I'm done with it now. I mean, I'm having my first kid in So I'll just be spending time with him and my fiance, and then kind of just I'm not gonna be playing like that anymore. It'll be a different off season for sure, but an exciting one. But yeah, so I'm in Dallas now. I'm in Dallas full time though
Oh,
for
okay.
the off season. I live there. We bought a house and everything, so that's pretty much what I do off the field though. But obviously playing for the Yankees, I live in Jersey, right over the GW Bridge.
Oh yeah.
It's a quick little drive. Bro. I mean, living in the city is crazy down there. Like all that traffic, I didn't know. I didn't realize like how much traffic it was until I got there, and I was like, man, I need to live a little bit closer. And everyone's saying like, yeah, like just live over in Fort Lee in Jersey, and then it's a lot better. Like instead of having to deal with that traffic every single day.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Even when I was with New York with the subliners, it was the same thing. I kind of wanted to stay in Jersey just because you could take a little bit of a break at night from the city when you go back to your place. It's not so hectic because the city, New York City, is just insane, dude. Like it's hectic over there.
Bro, it's crazy, bro. I didn't even realize.
Congrats on your first kid, man.
Thank you.
Oh, congratulations, Willie! You just had a kid.
I'm having him. Yeah, he's due in August 13th.
Oh man, congratulations, man! My birthday's August 9th, so you never know.
Leo.
Hell yeah,
Leo.
man! That's sick, bro. That's sick. Well, Ben, you got anything for Willie or Pat?
Willie, I got one. Obviously, this one's like kind of a deep cut for Yankees fans. I've seen people spam a little bit in the chat. There was a clip from a popular Yankees podcast show, and obviously your manager comes on every so often. There was a clip from like earlier in the month where he was talking about you, and he said that Willie can bang. Like, curious if you saw the clip and like your thoughts on that becoming like a pretty big meme in sort of the Yankees world.
Yeah, no, I've seen the clip. Yeah, I've seen the clip. I mean, like I said, Booney's unbelievable. One of the most down to earth managers that I've ever had. And when your manager, at that shows that much confidence in you, it makes you wanna run through the wall for your manager, and it just goes to show that you need to, I need to go out there. I need to prove people that I can do that. I can do what he said, and that's something that I've always been able to hit. I've had some pretty like freakish injuries the last 2 years, so I'm just happy that I'm fully healthy this year, and I'm able to get back to doing what I do. But I mean, yeah, I've definitely heard the clip. I love it, man. Like I love that whenever you hear your manager say something like that. Like I said, it makes you want to run through a wall for him, and it makes you want to prove that that he's right.
That's awesome.
These were some good questions, and some good answers. But I have one final important question for you.
The first time Slay enters the building. Go ahead, Pat.
Did you play any X Defiant during the closed beta?
X Defiant? Nah. I didn't play that. I did.
No.
I have seen that.
We'll have to get you on it. We'll have to get you on it.
Oh, for sure, bro. I'm always down. Anything that has to do with video games, man. I'm always in.
It sounds like you're gonna have to get him going, Pat.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was in San Fran the last week playing with some of the guys on the 49ers. So, I hook you, the Yankees up.
Okay, cool.
X Defiant.
Yeah, hey, like I said, bro, anything that has to do with video games, I'm down, bro. I love video games. It's one thing that I'm super passionate about, man. Like, I love it.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, listen, Willie. Go ahead, Ben.
I have two questions, sorry, Tom, because we tweeted out. I want to get some of these questions. So I have two for you. They're pretty fun ones. One's from our guy Emregs. He had a question: if the Yankees had a Mario Kart tournament, this is like a little bit more, casual gaming, not people having running gun and COD. Who's winning that tournament? Are you winning that, or is someone else on the Yankees winning that?
All right, bro. So I'm gonna be honest. My first series with the team was in Cleveland, or it was actually in Baltimore, but the next day we flew to Cleveland, and they had a Mario arcade game in the clubhouse set up, and there was 4 guys on that thing every single day. I would walk into the clubhouse. It would be Judgy King, um, Judgy King, Judgy King. I don't know who. There was 2 more that would always be on there, but every single time I would see that Judgy would win, and I was like, man, he has to be good. Or so I mean, I would have to give it to Judgy, man, just because I saw, that was a thing that was in the clubhouse as soon as we got to Cleveland, and I saw that he was winning. So if I were to have to say who would win, I think it would have to be Judgy.
That's crazy.
That's a good answer. I have one more. This is from Torrential. I think this is a fun one. I'm very curious how you're gonna answer this. Which Call of Duty pro, current or past, would you like to see take the diamond for a baseball game?
Oh no.
Oh fuck.
Oh no. That's a great question.
Trump already threw a pitch, no?
Okay, yeah, he did. He in Texas. I know he threw the first pitch out of the stadium in Texas. But if I had to pick a PDL pro to take the diamond, oof, man, bro. I'm just trying to think, like, who can I see being the most like athletic out there? Let me get. Oh, bro, isn't that dude? That dude Pred is pretty. He looks pretty jacked.
Yeah,
bro.
AG might be able.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if
yeah.
you've seen him shoot a basketball, but I mean,
Oh man,
you
I
can.
would have to.
Brett
You
is
know,
never getting
throwing
on base.
throwing a baseball might be a little bit different for AG, but
I don't know if he's ever thrown a baseball.
Dude,
I think
honestly, I would need to see like maybe maybe give me like I say like maybe like even like attach.
yeah, Dylan might be able to rip a nice,
Dylan, okay.
nice fastball.
He might be able to. He might be able to. Honestly, man, give me attach, man. Give me
That's a
attach.
good pick.
I
He used to play
want-
baseball.
That's for Dylan.
I want attach out there with me, man. Like I want him taking the diamond with me.
That's a good answer. I'm pretty sure Dylan played baseball back in the day.
Yeah, I would suit up. I would suit up with attach. I would, man.
That's awesome. Well, listen. Any
I will.
other questions, Ben? You got any more for Willie before we let him go?
No, I didn't want to have it was about being a dad. I just wanted to say congratulations and like if you want to speak on just for another minute or two, like just kind of like how excited you are and sort of like is it outside of gaming, like how it's going to change kind of your perspective of life and sort of like the rest of your career?
Yeah, for sure. Nah, bro, it's super exciting. Obviously, first time dad. It's a little boy, man. I always tease I always tease my fiance. I'm like, hey, like he's gonna come out the womb with a controller in his hand, just like playing around. But nah, I mean it's exciting, bro. It's nerve wracking but exciting though. It's a different feeling, and I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it. Just like I said, she's due like in the middle of baseball season. She's due on like I said, August 13th, which is 2 months from now. So, and we're still gonna have another hopefully 3 months of baseball left. Hopefully we can, make some noise in the playoffs, get in and make some noise in the playoffs. But it's gonna change. Like I said, I'm not gonna have no more time, playing video games. I think that's kind of like that life is kind of like behind me now. I mean, obviously, I'll still like pay attention, and don't get me wrong, I might hop on here and there, play some COD with some of the OGs, and then. But I mean, as far as like playing, like I would play like religiously. I would play like some Warzone kill bets like all night long. This past off season, and but I mean now that stuff is kind of like I'm not gonna be able to do that no more. So. I'm excited though. I'm blessed and I'm grateful that we're able to have our first kid though, for sure.
Yeah, it's incredible. It must be an amazing feeling. And listen, Willie, it was awesome to have you come on as well and just answer some of these questions for us. It was awesome. You were an amazing guest. Definitely my favorite guest. For sure, bro. And obviously I'll be watching you and rooting for you as you're playing your next few matches. You said you're here in LA, right? Playing the Dodgers?
Yeah, we're here playing the Dodgers.
Oh yeah, man. Well, good luck to you, bro. Good luck. Go out, do your thing.
Bro.
Best of luck to you. We'll be rooting for you. And I just really appreciate you coming on, bro. You ever want to play some COD or ever want to play some games, you let me know. And we'll be around.
For sure. Thank y'all for having me. For real, it was fun, bro. I had a lot of fun with y'all.
Thank you so much, Willie. Thank you. We'll get you on again sometime. We'll get you on again for sure. We're gonna hop in and talk some COD fugazi, but I appreciate you very much, Willie. I appreciate you. You have a good night. All right.
For
Good
sure.
luck in your games, and thank you again, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. All right, y'all have a good night.
You too, Willie. Take care, man. Take
Peace.
care.
Have a good one, bro.
See ya.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, can everybody give it up for Willie Calhoun? This guy's an absolute animal. Make sure to show him some love, man. This was an awesome guest, man. I told you guys growing up watching the Yankees and stuff, man, that is just a crazy, crazy guest to have on, man. So that's insane. I got some family watching and stuff. So huge shout out to Willie, man. And to hear how invested he is into COD and how much he really likes it. I didn't know all that about Willie. I didn't know how much he was in there.
I've known him because when I was in Challengers, like talking to ProLu and all those stuff, they used to like talk about playing wagers, and I'd see him tweet like, "Oh, 2v2 Chow, I'm with Calhoun."
That's
Like,
crazy.
"Wait, what?"
That's insane, dude.
I met Willie at like Dallas, CWL, World War II, the bomb threat event.
That's what I was gonna say, bro. I'm pretty sure I played him in like a World War II wager.
Yeah, no.
Really?
Me and Crowder hung out with him that event.
I mean, I dusted him, Tom, but like I played him.
Well,
No, hey, Willie and I were chatting for a while. We're trying to find a time to do this because he's been wanting to come on for a sec, but luckily his schedule's lined up and glad he came on. And I think the key thing for us was like, to your point, Tom, like we all knew that he's got a big COD history. I don't think, I hope there's some like casual Yankee fans in here or like CDL fans who were, didn't know his history,
Yeah, no, 100%. It was awesome to have him on. I obviously wish him the best of luck moving forward, everything. I'm going to be tuning in. I'm just switching scenes because I'm going to get us ready for some of this other COD stuff. But there's a lot going on in the COD scene as well that I want to talk about. Ben, I mean, where do we even want to start, man? There's so much going on. We can kind of start wherever.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have this on the agenda, but this is a question. Pat, did you ever give your thoughts on the like Reese Vivid Snoopy thing? I know me, Chris, and Tom talked about it on a emergency, but I don't know if you ever gave like your full take on it. If so, if you wanted to speak on that, just to start things off.
I didn't. I actually I jokingly at the event when me and Chris were doing the reverse sweep with Doug, I jokingly was like, "Yo, Doug, like, why don't Boston just sub Snoopy in for champs?" Like, because Doug was talking about how good Snoopy is.
But you said
I
that.
can confirm. I can confirm.
Yeah, but I mean, truthfully, I was joking about it, right? I was just like, I was saying how ass Boston was. I was like, "Yo, Doug, if this Snoopy guy is as good as you're claiming, like, why don't they just grab him for their main team?" And I also thought it was impossible. Ben, I think I heard you talk about, but like the gray area around the roster change rules seem a little finicky. I don't think that's. I don't think what happened was what should have happened. But anyway, yeah. I mean, look, I don't think this is gonna help them. I think Snoopy could be great as one of the, even if he was one of the best players. I don't think it's gonna help this Boston team. And I also think it's not necessarily setting this kid up for success. That was so Doug's comment back to me was like, I would love for Snoopy to get an opportunity, but like he doesn't want it to happen so soon because like he doesn't want it to jeopardize this kid's career.
That's Doug's opinion on the change is what you're saying.
No, Doug actually said that. My bad if you were finished driving your home point, Pat. But Doug was actually basically saying that Snoopy is like he might be 18 years old, but he's like a kid. So he like lives in Mexico, grows up, he lives with his family and stuff like that. Like, listen, I'm sure he's has somewhat of a level of maturity, but like he's not like the like 18-year-olds that we have like here in America, where most of them are like, for the most part at least, like they're just I don't know how to explain it. Like he actually has more of a like younger mindset. So like him maybe going and getting into the pro league a little bit sooner might not be a good thing for him. Sure, he can show out and perform maybe, but
regardless of that, what if he doesn't? Yeah. Like, what if he just has a bad event? Like, it just has a bad champs, and like
that's literally what Doug was saying, by the way.
I think Boston will probably like still, unless he will probably still keep him, because I assume that Indens are like other people like, bro, it's just so hard to force them on their first LAN, and like we've seen great players first events are not like 1-5s, people at the first event they have. But like I mean, I'm just curious, Pat, if you just sort of agree. I think we all had a similar take, which is they're rolling the dice. throwing this kid in a little bit early? Like, do you agree with that? Is there like a little bit extra do you want to add on top?
I
You think
mean,
that's like missing here?
look, Boston still probably get 5th through 8th at this champs, regardless of this change. So I don't think it's going to do anything. But what I am like really doubtful of is the fact that, at least from what I read, I could be wrong. This was a coach-driven decision. Like, this was a Zed and Din's call, not a player's call. And I don't know if we've ever seen a roster work out where the coach forced a roster change. Like, I don't know if we've ever really seen that work out for any team. If the coach is forcing this change and it's not something the players are asking for, and it kind of makes me question like Boston's roster changes to this point. Like, has it all been coach changes? Is that the reason we haven't seen a sub or a AR player get benched or dropped or whatever? And it's just been cycling out these sub players to fill a gap that we don't. I mean, as outsiders when we're watching, we don't think is the issue. And then another thing is like, they may as well just like fire Zed or Dins and just hire Doug. I mean, from what it seems like, Doug's basically been running the recruitment process for this entire org. I mean, Beans, Crimp, Snoopy, like basically every player that the Boston CDL team has picked up has went through the Doug fucking challenger lineup. So, yeah, I hope Doug's getting paid, but shit, at this point, like they might as well just have Doug be a GM.
Doing it for free.
This is not only it's simultaneously fucking Doug as well, because he obviously just got third at the Challenger Open. They were basically really close to qualifying for champs like Otto. They have to go through the online OQ or EQ, and they have to basically get Chem with a completely new fourth going into the qualifier. And one
Dan
team,
Ghosty. That's who Doug picked up in Challengers, Dan Ghosty.
Yeah, one team qualifies for that, so that's kind of tough. Also, I didn't finish my thoughts, I guess, when I joined the show, because remember, it was kind of just like a scuffed like take what we were talking about, Snoopy.
It's an emergency flying, bro. It's emergency flying.
But basically what I wanted to say is the way they worded it, the coaches basically said, "Oh, we just like we're not going to win the event and we're not going to beat Optic if we lost to London the way we played at that tournament." So that basically told me they don't believe in their team and that they have zero confidence, and they are basically essentially bringing in Snoopy is a Hail Mary to try to get them over the hump of beating Optic and maybe even making a run in the tournament. Which, listen, I get it's the right call to make a change. I don't think it was the right call. Obviously, if he comes in the tournament for eyes, like obviously everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, wow, good idea." But at the same time, like I still think them bringing together the team that got fourth and just running it back with those guys would probably have been their best bet. But right now, it just seems like they have zero confidence and they're just Hail Marying this guy. I really hope nobody takes this one event for this kid as a way to ruin his stock whatsoever if he doesn't play the best, because they don't have much time and it's like the biggest event of the year and they're already playing Optic first round. So
guys spawning in on the main stage against Optic for the first professional match of his life.
Listen, and as much as Optic struggled at the last tournament, like this is an Optic team that's literally been like the favorite of like 2 events so far this year. So yeah, it's a tough ask for sure.
Yo, by the way, I don't know if this is true, but Tom, someone told me you went 7-32 today.
Nah, Slade. It's Photoshop AI deepfake shit.
Oh, it's Photoshop?
Yeah,
that deepfake bullshit.
Slade, it's actually crazy. Like the technology that people are using these days.
It's wild, Tom.
Nah, it's actually fucking crazy. I don't even know how they're doing it. It's fucking insane. But yeah, nah, just ignore that shit. It's all fake.
Nah, yeah, I didn't believe it when I saw it.
Nah, this shit's fake, Slade. So it's all good. Go ahead, Ben.
But to just to get back on topic, like I think you make kind of an interesting point, Pat. We haven't seen like a team in the CDL that really had success when it feels like the coaches are sort of at the center of decision making around the team. I think this team's kind of unique in its dynamic because they're so young and they lack a lot of experience that the other teams have.
Culture problem, Ben.
I mean, this is what happened with LAG for years.
I don't think this case is very similar because obviously they had Zinni retire mid-season, and I think Zinni in a way was kind of like a glue. He was obviously that veteran presence on their team, and they were an all right team. They were making progress, but at the same time, losing him immediately, they've been kind of forced to try to like band-aid the situation. That not the wound, but you band-aid the situation that he kind of left. And although I'm saying they could make better decisions at the end of the day, I think calling for the coaching staff to kind of like get booted and stuff like that, or any of that stuff is kind of unwarranted right now. I think if maybe another year of this, it's like
I'm not calling for them to get booted. I'm saying coaches forcing roster changes has never worked out.
I mean, that's what happened.
In any example in Call of Duty history that I could ever think of, like that's never worked. So I'm really
sure the players are for it too.
My point was I'm trying to make sure that people don't just like drive home this point of like fuck the coaches, blah blah blah. Because no offense to the Rocker guys, but it's not like them where like Rockers had the same majority of the same coaches for like such a long period of time and have had very, I don't know, turbulent success.
No, the problem with the Rockers is how much money they're spending and the results they're getting.
Yeah,
like that money.
but I'm saying, I guess
I think the Boston thing is just, again, and I don't want to keep beating a dead horse about it, but Zin left. They just don't have a lot of experience there. They don't have a lot of veteran leadership. They have a lot of really interesting pieces, a lot of really talented players, and that could be, from like I'm putting my GM hat for a second. They want to try and go after someone that has a buyout. They have some interesting tools to potentially reduce the cost of that buyout in exchange for sending a player the other way. But I think that this is something they're going to have to address in the offseason. Like,
what do you mean they don't have leadership? They literally have Doug, Sensor, Martin. They're ripping every single one of his teammates from his hands.
He's right there.
He's literally finding all this talent.
He's right there, Pat.
Why are they not putting Doug in?
Hold on.
Doug is literally finding these challenger kids, teaching them like fundamental COD, like the way that they think they should play, and then they're just picking him up. Might as well at this point, if you need veteran leadership, pick up the motherfucking person that you've been paying for years to find this talent.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was just reading chat and there's some stupid takes in there that I want to point out. Like a lot of people are saying, because I said Zinni was their glue and he's like their veteran presence, and people are like, oh, he's only won 2 championships. Hold on, chat. You guys do realize that the majority of the players in the league have literally never won championships at all? You do know that, right?
He's not gonna host you, bro.
Having 2, having 1 is a lot. It's a serious. No, I'm serious, because I feel like a lot of people kind of like miss the mark when it comes down to that. It's like, this guy's never won. This guy's never won. We can't all be Atlanta FaZe. We can't all be Optic. Like there's gonna be those middle of the pack teams, and somebody has to be a middle of the pack team. Yes, everyone is striving to win, but winning is hard. Being consistent and showing improvement is the most that you can ask out of most teams and players. It's just the reality of it. And most people are just like, wow, these guys aren't going to win. So what the fuck's the point? I'm like, bro, most of the teams aren't going to win. That's just how the shit works.
I think, look, if you're Boston, you've actually a pretty good free agent pitch, which is like, we have started from 0. And unlike a lot of these CDL teams, the last 2 years, we've been essentially a top 6, top 8 team. And we need someone to get us to top 1. And you could be that guy. You can come in. We've got a lot of really talented young players, but they need some help learning how to play the style of Call of Duty that's going to make us a consistent top 3 team. And so this is why I think that they have a really good, really good potential slide into any of the conversations with some of the main ARs that are going to become free agents in this offseason. And we'll see if that's the route they go to upgrade the team, because I think the sub players are really talented. I think Big Wake you probably need to keep unless you're using him as some kind of token to get a better player.
Big Wake are essentially the same player. That's why.
One of them's gonna probably have to go.
Let's move on from Boston. We talked about Boston a little bit. A little bit of drama coming in from Vickle and Arcides. Obviously, Vickle has some choice words to say about Alec. Let's tune in and listen to what Vickle had to say.
I mean, bro, listen, guys. I'm sorry, bro. I like Arcides. I think it's good. I have a lot of respect for him. But bro, like pulling out a sub map 3 because he just wants like.
Oh, I saw this on TikTok.
There's no way, bro. There's no way they go into practice and their plan on Expo control is for Alec to run the sub. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That pissed me off. Like, what are you doing, bro? I'm sorry, bro.
All right, he played music, so I don't want to play the whole clip. But that's pretty much what he said. And then after that, he went on and on about Alec just like kind of tweeting negatively about his team. And kind of saying, like all year, Vickle was saying he was going hard. He was always going hard, even when they were in champs, out of champs. It didn't really matter. Like every day, he was just going nuts. where he felt like Alec pulling out a third sub was just like not the best mentality to go about it. I mean, what do you guys think about it?
Well, hold on. Before we get into it, we should also bring up Alex's response before we talk about the whole thing.
And real quick, okay, yeah, go ahead. Actually,
yeah, no, I'm gonna bring up Alex's response right now.
Oh, good. I was gonna say that Exceed kind of co-signed the tweet with Javi, by the way, and Exceed obviously he was on the team, so
yeah, and we'll get to that, but I think it's important, like, before we and Tom will pull it up before we like get there. I think we should. Alex saw the clip, obviously wasn't very happy. As you guys know with Alec, like, he's one of the guys that says what's on his mind, and a lot of it ends up on the timeline. So Tom will kind of go through and show you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I can't find the
was
tweet.
saying.
I can't find it because I'm just going through his responses, seeing if I can find anything.
It should be on Reddit. It was like right below that post on Reddit.
Oh, was it? Was it on Reddit? Yeah, let me go on Reddit and see what Alec had to say about it. But sum it up,
Well,
Ben.
I mean, I can read it out to you if you want.
Yeah, read it out because I can't find it.
So the tweet is, it was at Vickle, and this is sort of early this afternoon, or it was actually late night. I woke up this morning and saw it. Brother, you act like I did any of that for my teammates, and tweeting depressing shit was not COD related. You don't know how I was. I tried every day. Don't talk about shit. I gave my everything. I dealt with bank frauding for months. Every day lost a lot of shit. But yeah, my fault. And then Alec then kind of also responded for him to say I don't try because I've tried using a sub in scrims as well. Haha, I promise when I was tweeting it, it was fucking mostly personal shit. Before you want to talk publicly about me, send a DM before you want to put dirt on my shit. And then he put a sue. He put a sue at the end, brother. He said sue, brother. LOL.
He said sue, brother.
I wanted to mention a few things.
Man,
real
love
quick
some
before we
COD
dive a little
banter.
bit deeper.
Go ahead, Chris.
Basically, Vickle is very close with a lot of players on that team, so I'm sure he probably knows a little bit more about the situation, or he's at least heard some sides of the story, not maybe necessarily Alex here. But also on top of that, Alec is a very much a person that wears his heart on a sleeve, if you guys can't already
100%.
tell. So he's obviously, when things are going wrong, he's gonna put that stuff out. But the one thing that I've always wanted, I just want to like say is there's accountability on both ends. And also, I don't think Vickle was talking shit about the guy. I think he was probably a topic in his stream and people were talking about him, and he probably just gave his opinion. I think a lot of people in this scene are they don't realize that a lot of times you're making an observation. You're not talking shit, because in nowhere in that part of the fucking video or his clips was he talking shit or coming at Alec. He was making an observation of Alec's tweets, of the team's practice, of the situation. And he's basically saying that, he doesn't agree with it and he feels like it had a negative effect on his teammates. And that is true. As much as like you are dealing with your shit and you're dealing with the shit of your team and all that stuff, projecting it onto social media, projecting it onto your teammates, et cetera, is not a good thing. That's not how it's not going to improve your team.
Could someone fill me in? Where did this example happen that he's bitching about?
It was during this last split. Like, Alec ran a sub at some point. I remember when that tweet came out that Alec hadn't planted a bomb all year. The next match, like, he planted a bomb. Like,
listen,
at that point, to be fair,
who cares? The season was over for both these guys. They're both, bro. All these guys are going to China, man. Like, why does it even matter at this point? Like, all those guys were chalked. They weren't getting into champs. Their season was over. They were both going to Major 5 and probably placing 8 through 12 or whatever it is. So to be like upset about it at this point, who cares? But the LAG org is literally done. Like, they literally fired their entire front office and are trying to sell their spot.
But basically, if I
want to try and save your spot for next year, though, Pat. You want to finish
talk about
strong.
This a little bit more, but the LAG team was essentially split in half, where there was just complete disagreement within the camp, where there was basically no way of repairing it. And as much as they sat there and tried, I think they were just all grinding out the season just because they wanted to play. But in all honesty, if I was Alec, I probably would have benched myself a long time ago, because you probably did no favors with your stock as a player. And like, the way that you handled the situation. I'm not saying that it wasn't warranted. I'm not saying that you weren't going through stuff. I'm saying the way you handled it was probably not the best.
Wait, who cares? Who cares about that point? He shouldn't have joined Neptune, Hook, and
Bro,
listen,
we get it, bro, but that's not what I'm trying to say, bro. Like, you're going way far back to the beginning of the season.
Yeah, because that's where it matters. That's where this whole shit started.
I mean,
like, get to the root of the problem. You joined a shit team and put yourself in a shit position and got paid handsomely. It is what it is. That's how it works sometimes. Your teammates were ass. Your org had to pick up a challenger roster. Like, the team just didn't work. You guys sucked. Like, then your org decided that, they didn't want to support the scene anymore. They left, basically. You're stuck in this situation where you don't even know what your future looks like because your org is basically ready to be done. The team is horrible. You're not going to make champs. Like, I think there's a little bit of people being dramatic here. I don't really see the issue.
Let Ben have the floor. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
I think the truth is somewhere between the middle of you both, because I agree with you, Pat. Like, to an extent of, and I think he talked about lessons learned on the timeline, kind of acknowledging this. They shouldn't have ran back the trio from last season that didn't qualify for champs. He had the ability to recruit some players to LAG. They didn't do that. They decided to keep it going. And it didn't work out, and they had to basically 180 their whole team around the New Year's, and it didn't really work out for them. But I think on the Chris's flip side, it just seemed like he had trouble sort of working through that sort of progression path of the new squad. And I've heard the same as Chris. Like, Vickel's pretty close to people on the team, and there obviously some frustration within the camp of, like, the practice, just them getting better every day and feeling like sort of the season was chalked a little bit earlier than it should have been because they were still had a chance going the last couple of majors of the season.
Also, anybody,
even if they didn't chalk it, that team was chalked.
Anybody that is not saying that none of them went hard and stuff like that is completely stupid. You might not have agreed with the some of like the things that did. For example, if Alec wanted to try using a sub on a map, maybe they weren't very good at the map and you wanted to try something. Like, that's up to them to decide.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about. Like, was that like a team decision? Maybe they wanted him to pull out a sub on certain hills or something, and Vickles just maybe didn't agree with the call,
Yeah, I'm sure all of them were trying their best, but I think that they should have maybe forcibly taken matters into their own hands, because there is no way in hell, if I was as unhappy as they were, that I would have continued to play, especially a person like Alec. I feel like I said, he just did no favors for his stock. I feel like a lot of people, even some people now, are still on the side of, yeah, Alec deserves better and, he's got a lot of accolades. But listen, accolades will only carry you so far. And on top of that, and I'm sure, and I think Alec is great. Alec is a great player, but he was on FaZe, the roster that is still continuing to find success without him. That found success with the older teams, et cetera, et cetera. So Alec is great, but clearly he was replaceable on that team to a degree. So now Alec gets dropped onto a lesser team, way lesser team, basically complete opposite of the spectrum. Some people might see it completely different. Yeah, he has a history of being a great teammate when he's on great teams. When he's on a complete opposite side of the spectrum, people.
What did you say? There have been what?
What are you talking about? He has a history of being a great teammate on great teams.
Nah, before that.
Dude, I don't know. I know what you're saying. But now you put him on a really bad situation, and maybe, you see a truer side to him or something like that, et cetera, et cetera. My point being is, it's not that black and white, man. And people that are defending one person or coming at the other guy because you have an opposing opinion, like, you guys got to stop looking at it from like a black and white perspective, because clearly both sides were struggling, and I don't know. It's stupid.
Listen, my last thought on this, anyone from the LAG situation after champs, we did it with New York. Look at them now. They aired everything out, and they're having a good season. If you all want to come on and kind of set the truth straight here, we're happy to have you guys.
Well, everybody's favorite 7 kills. It was deep fake. Go ahead, Pat.
The only difference is, Ben, those guys are going to be on a plane to China, my brother. New York players were still staying in New York.
Oh, my God. Let's move on to the next
subject.
subject.
Everyone on LAG. Ni hao.
All righty, let's hop into the next one. Slayer, thank you very much for sharing. Nadeshot's thoughts on Celium's play style. Let's tune in.
I wish I could have got to play against Celium. because I know that he's a fucking unbelievable player, dude. If he ever sees this clip, I just want him to know. And it's not, I don't even care if I had beef with him. I think he is unbelievable. The players around the league agree. The coaches agree. But something has got to give.
Yeah.
You cannot be walking out of a series where you lose. And they have lost in the finals a couple times over the last 2 years. And this guy's walking out of there with like a 1.3 KD, bro. Something is wrong with your gameplay if that's the case. And maybe it's not as black and white as that. But from my experience playing, you know, there is a time and a place to worry about stats. Like if somebody's got thrown up like a 0.5, yeah, maybe an issue. But, I mean, Priesta, I think, had like a 0.78 coming out of this series, bro. He was like -40.
Yeah.
And they won the fucking tournament.
Yo,
All right.
yo, there's no way they'd watch the tournament, bro.
Nah, yeah, I don't think he watched it.
They lost STD.
They lost 3 searches. They fried him in a respawn.
Yeah, they did not watch that shit, bro.
So I tweeted about it.
That is comedy.
I tweeted about it, and then he actually responded to me because he acknowledged he actually didn't watch the finals. He just kind of saw the score afterwards.
Which
I
makes
think,
sense
like,
with the narrative.
Yeah, with the way that he responded. I think, like, I'll say this about what he said. Like, I think there's 2 sides to it. One is, I think especially last year, with how inconsistent their subs were, I think MC kind of played his life too much in many situations. And I think they've slowly started to kind of adjust him a way of just, you know, like, yeah, you're a really nasty player. You're really tough kill on the map. But sometimes, like, especially if your sub players in your teams are not having an impact, like the pace you can set and your ability to win crazy gunfights will probably help. And you've seen it now. They finally slot everybody into like the right roles. And I think this major for them was an example. Probably the best their respawn has looked since at some point last year when they were like a top hardpoint team, I think, for most of last year. And yeah, they lost 3 searches in the finals. They choked one of them like pretty fucking bad. But I think they've solved a lot of the respawn issues. And I think Matt's comment was just sort of not up to date.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. I agree with this. So we've talked about MC with certain situations before where we feel like he's playing his life too much. But I definitely think the last major showed FaZe their respawn was back for sure. They looked really good in the respawns. I don't know what happened to them in the search. I don't know what happened there. I know they fumbled. I know they fumbled the Asilo, or what? It was the Asilo, right?
If didn't get spectator lag, they win that series 4-2, bro. Let's just be.
Spectator lag. He didn't have his glasses on.
Yeah, he just missed him, bro. He didn't see him. I don't know how.
Yo, the lights were a little too bright. He got a little glare on him.
Hey, take it easy, Chris.
Another thing is, you can't tell me that if Nadeshot had the option to trade Octane for Cell 1-for-1 right now, he's saying no.
I don't think he would.
Octane's different. I mean, he's been good for them.
I don't think he would. Octane, bro, I've said this before. When people are like, yo, Octane should join this and this. Bro, listen, as much as I think, you know, him joining certain teams, he is literally, him and like Kenny are their franchise players. I don't think those guys go anywhere for the entire rest of their careers. No bullshit. That team, that organization would literally just ask them, who do you want, and go after them.
Yeah, I don't think you would do it.
Because you're saying, oh, you would trade something. He would not. I promise you, he won't.
But then he's drunk.
No, I agree with Chris. Like, as nasty of a player MC is, I just don't think for how the Thieves structure the camp, I just don't see them kind of letting. They wouldn't do that kind of swap. Now, draws and MC is a different conversation, but I think for that, no. I just think for Nade, this is just unfortunately a case of, like, I think there's a debate to be had based on his gameplay from earlier this season.
Are y'all drunk?
In what way?
Like, you could pick Simp or a BZ. You could pick either one. If Atlanta FaZe said, "Yo, we'll give you Cell for Octane," if I'm 100T, done. Tell me where to sign.
Yeah, but you're not the GM.
Same for Simp for Kenny. Done. Tell me where to sign. A BZ for Kenny. Done. Tell me where to sign. Package deal 2 for 2. Done.
I think the only way.
The whole Atlanta FaZe at that point.
Okay, here. Put it like this. I don't think Nade or LA Thieves would ever trade them unless they wanted to leave.
They're just a big part of their brand now. That's the only reason why I don't know. They're a big
they're
part of like what they've been building over there. I don't think they just give them to the curb like that.
Later, I'll buy you the plane ticket.
Speaking of fucking organizations off the fucking wazoo, let's tune into this 7-second clip from Mr. AG himself on the Stocksman podcast. Let's tune in.
I was supposed to join Paris Legion in Cold War.
Oh, that's just quiet as fuck. Hold on, let me raise that. Let me raise that for y'all. Okay, let's tune in.
I was supposed to join Paris Legion in Cold War.
Ooh, okay, tidbit, didn't know that.
Yeah, it was gonna be me and Paco.
Talk about the time on Seattle and what.
Vegas Legion. How much papaya are these guys smoking over there, Slayer? We'll start with you. They let go of Paco and Mr. Pred AG.
What?
The perfect face.
I
The
wonder if it
perfect
could be a money
face
thing.
for the organization.
Nah, I
The
actually
perfect
remember,
face.
Nah, it wasn't a money thing. I actually remember this, bro. Who did they pick? They picked Classic, Temp. What was their roster?
No, this
Aqua
is
and Fire in Cold War.
Aqua, yeah, bro. Yo.
And wait, no, hold on, wait, no. It wasn't Temp. It was Scraps. It was Scraps, Aqua, Fire, and who's the fourth? Was it Temp? I think it was Temp.
they took
No,
forever to pick
wasn't it
that.
Classic? Am I drunk? Wasn't it Nikki D? It was Nikki D.
One
for
of them,
sure.
one of them was on there. What? I can't remember who it was.
Nah, it was Nikki D for
Oh,
sure.
Scraps
bro.
might not have been on the team then.
This is Cold War, right? This is Cold,
Yeah, it was
Cold
the
War.
beginning of
Paris
Cold
Yeah,
Legion?
it's
War.
Cold War. Oh, Fire came
So then
later. I was wrong.
It would have been. It
Fire
would
came
have
later.
Definitely
team.
Nikki D.
The team to start the season was if I remember, Matty, Nick, Yuli, and Fire was their four. And Don,
Okay.
fucking
I don't
Don
remember
didn't
that.
come till later. Don joined them like at some point in the middle of the season.
Oh, okay. So that's what it was. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Are
that.
you sure? What was the first?
I don't remember, bro.
Don was on LA Thieves, and then got
What was the
released.
first event of Cold War?
Kickoff Classic.
The what?
It was the online. It was a bunch of online show matches. Was like.
Bro,
the
Tom,
first
what are
event.
you doing on stream right now?
What do you
I
mean?
found it.
I'm just
You're
scrolling through.
trying-
No,
Hey,
I just
Tom was
I
going
played. I
rogue.
had a because the AG clip was so low. I had to bump it up on my Go XLR, and then I played another clip by accident for half a second. It was loud as fuck. I just blew everybody's eardrums out for half a second.
Somebody
But
said,
here-
somebody said you were shooting bots.
Nah.
Here's the issue with an organization like Vegas until like they really like empowered Theory to sort of make decisions is like they were dragging out a lot of this Rostermania stuff and like people were making decisions that didn't really have a lot of COD knowledge, and that's how stuff like this gets fumbled.
Yeah,
Because
Aqua, Nikki D, Scraps, Fire.
that's what I'm saying. Because like you could have,
Bro,
if I were
Ben,
Vegas
Ben,
at the time,
listen.
it's like two nasty
Ben, I was
players
in this.
from outside the NA. Like let's do it. bro.
No, Ben, no. This is when Theory was there at this time. Theory was
He was just. I think he was just starting.
Yeah,
though,
it
like-
was his first year, bro. Listen, it was gonna be me,
he had no
Nick,
leverage.
Paco, and Hydra, bro, or Pred and Hydra.
You were
what it's
you were
gonna
on the
be.
team,
That's what it was gonna be. I'm telling you.
and then why did it fall through?
I mean, just shit happens, man. Shit happens.
They were talking to a lot of people. Like Tom Gravity was talking to them for a
No,
while.
it was gonna be
I
me,
hear.
Pred, Hydra, and Nikki D.
You
So it
almost
was gonna be-
Yeah, but they
Finesse.
waited until November to make a team that year. Like they
No,
were
but
literally
that's what
last
the
team.
roster was gonna be.
Nah, it definitely was not.
Yeah, he's got to be capping on that one.
I'm not capping.
You have receipts?
Yeah, let me find them.
You got some receipts?
There's
on
got to
this
be like
shit?
an old group text or something. There's got to be some receipts here.
Yeah,
no, I got you. I
something
got you.
seems a
I
little
mean, because
fishy.
I believe Pat is go finesser like Pat sliding
It
in with
wouldn't
Dome Theory,
surprise
like,
me if it was. It
This
wouldn't
doesn't
surprise me.
surprise me, but like ultimately, in classic Paris fashion, they picked a complete leftover team that
Yo,
made
we would've been
exactly zero
gross. We would
sense.
have been gross, bro.
Uh-uh.
would've
You would have
lost
played
that
better
year.
than them because that team all plays like top 12 all year in Cold War.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. We would have
Yeah.
been gross.
Let's take a look at the bracket going into champs. Who's got the stronger side? Top of the bracket or bottom of the bracket? What do you guys think?
So here's an interesting dynamic.
Where's the bracket?
It's
Up
on
on my
top screen
screen.
right now. So for audio listeners, the bracket is FaZe and Seattle are one matchup. Toronto, LA Thieves is the top
Oh,
side
the
of the
top
bracket.
is way harder.
I think the top is way harder. The bottom side is Optic and Boston, and then New York and Rocker. But I think the better question, Tom, is not which side is harder. It's actually a question for y'all. So right now, there's a weird practice, not a weird-ish, many people that don't know, practice dynamic for these 8 teams in the CDL, which is you really don't want to scrim teams on your side of the bracket. Now, I think LA Thieves said they play FaZe and hard points because they're like, whatever. But for the most part, you don't want to do that. My question to you guys as players, like, you agree with that strategy? And if you do, like, kind of explain from your perspective why you think that's smart for these teams to do going into champs.
I mean, I think it's a smart thing. You just don't want to give away like your play styles. I feel like a lot of players pick up on tendencies when they play. They like to know, like, oh, on this hill, this guy likes to go here, blah blah. I think it's a good thing. But also, just looking at this, if you're a team on the bottom side of the bracket, I feel like losing earlier is better because you don't get flipped out. Well, like
The
for
flip
your
is gonna kill someone on top
the
side,
flip,
100%.
the flip is gonna absolutely fuck someone real good whenever they lose in the second round, and they're one team's gonna get an easier match, and one team is gonna get literally a championship match, like an actual champs match, for a chip basically in the second or third round of losers.
But Ben,
Or second round.
sorry, Ben, I missed your question. Can you repeat your question? Because I was just pulling something up. But what did you say? What are teams not doing before champs?
So basically, my question was like the teams on the top side of the bracket are almost screaming the teams on the bottom side of the bracket. They're not gonna FaZe is not gonna
That makes sense.
necessarily play Seattle Thieves or Toronto. I think Sam said on stream at some point, I saw somebody clip that like he maybe was open to scrimming FaZe and hard points, but that was it. And I was asking if that was a wise strategy and if you guys agree with it, like, you know, explain your logic on that front.
I mean, yeah, I agree with Chris that you just don't want to give away stuff. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, you don't want to scrim somebody every day that you're playing in 2 weeks. You know, there's no point. These guys have played a lot of COD this year, so I don't think they need like those extra reps against some of those top teams. I think they know what to expect at this point. I think everybody knows what to expect. This weekend is about to be absolutely crazy because I feel like it's getting to that time where there's just like you have no idea who's gonna win. And anything can really happen, but go ahead, Chris.
I would say the only other thing is like, I think people sort of learn the game now, but like one thing we haven't talked a lot about on the show is like how the meta evolves throughout the season because teams sort of start to execute situationals the same way. And so you sit down and you say, well, now I got to counter this strategy. And then the counter becomes sort of the meta. And now it's like another adjustment. And that's what you want to avoid by, I assume the part of the logic is why you wouldn't, you know, want to scrim teams on your side of the bracket is as you work on these like mini meta tweaks on how you're going to approach certain hills, you don't want to then give that team the opportunity to counter the stuff you've been working on for 2 weeks. You want them to see it the first time when you pull up to that match and hopefully win.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, though, now that I think about it, just talking about how I've had this conversation before with you guys on the show, but also just even how that last major went. I think not scrimming people in hardpoint or stuff like that, I think is now this lane season is kind of dumb unless you're actually doing stuff that's like completely different. But I feel like every single team knows how to play hardpoint, and I feel like the teams that are really good at hardpoint at the event are just the teams that get hot and they just like keep that streak going. But ultimately, what wins you the tournaments and what like is always going to be the separator at the end of the year, and you've seen it every single year, by the way. Every single year, it's your search. Look at like New York in the final. Look at what New York was able to do in that whole tournament leading up until they actually won. Their S&D is essentially what carried them forward. Yeah, you can make that argument that it's not going to necessarily win you events because FaZe also was clearly the best S&D team and choked to or like didn't win the last couple events. But for the most part, that's like what closes you out the tournaments, especially with it being 3 in a series. So I feel like, I don't know, people maybe are trying like getting in their heads too much when it comes down to like scrimming each other, I guess, in hardpoint. I feel like it's everyone knows how to play. I don't feel like there's anything new you really teach anyone unless they're just garbage at the game in the first
spots
place.
Or crazy strategies or nade spots that you've been holding on to.
Yeah, but those are a lot of those are just like finicky breakoffs. I feel like no one really did anything.
I held,
like really broken
to,
head glitch spots and angles that like people
I held on to 2 Ardent S&D strats from April to September.
No way.
And those are search though.
You're different, Slay. You're different.
Bro, Tom, you actually want to know where I came up with it?
How?
I was taking a shower one night. And I was thinking about it, and I came up with it. And so when we actually named it, named it the shower thought strategy. You can confirm that with anyone on EG.
Ted Lasso stuff right here.
You can confirm that with anybody on EG at the time.
I'll be honest, Pat. Like in the shower, like a lot of my best ideas have come from when I'm in the shower or if I'm like on the toilet or something. Like I'm just like deep thinking. You know what I mean? Just deep thinking about life.
Your IQ actually goes up like double when
it's
you're
crazy.
in either of those
You
positions.
get that dopamine for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben. Well, before we get into the next topic, anything else you want to say?
No, you guys are correct. The shower thoughts thing is a good gimmick, and I'm gonna go ask. Bevels and just confirm this story. Although I will say to the earlier
on EG. It was
the earlier combo.
Bro, Ben, I love that you questioned me. So it was this strat. We had 2 smokes. I threw a smoke over Bell that cut off. If you guys remember, Arden's on defense. It was an offense strat, and it was Arden's like it would cut off the defense's like the B ramp over there. Like the smoke would land perfectly. It would cut off all information for them seeing anyone coming out of B or looking mid. And then Silly and Justin did this double nade mid tank. and then Adam went wide left, but he waited for my smoke to hit. I distracted at B. It would cause a wrap. Justin and App would pick off the guy mid, and then we'd storm rush A cabin wall, bomb down. It was a free plant, free round win every time.
Because you're basically getting a guy
Saved it
stuck
from
on
April.
B, just like panicking because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
He doesn't know
calling
what's
out
up
that
for-
they were smoked and like they couldn't see anything. They had no info. So the
Just
people
firing through, hoping to
mid
pray.
truck overcompensated the people at A wrap, thinking it was a B rush, because we would usually hit them with the B rush, the smoke B rush with 2 nade frags.
Yeah.
Before that, and then we hit them with the shower thought strat. Oh, wait, I don't think we lost it. No bullshit. I don't think we ever lost the round. We didn't get to do it against Tom's team,
Did you
though.
always go A in this situation, or do you ever try and like?
Always.
Like,
We would
lay it
always go
safely?
A because the blood would always happen mid.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
the A side was pretty easy to hold down.
let's
once you
tune
got a
into the
good
next
side
Like,
of
are
topic.
you all right?
Let's tune into the next topic. TJ Haley on Twitter. He says CDL has to change the format to the NBA play-in format. JCap, head coach for the Los Angeles Thieves, steps in. He says, "You don't even believe that." TJ said, "Laugh my ass off." He's laughing. I'm not even saying that because we didn't qualify. It's actually just way better. Top half of the league auto qualifies. That 9 through 10 seeds win twice before losing once. I got to use the restroom. I'll let you guys kick it off. Slay, what do you think about this?
Yo, Tej, the Twitter fingers looking crazy down in Cancun, my boy.
Dude, that's not right, Pat.
I look, this is some serious copium. If he qualified or it was in 8th seed or whatever, he would not be saying this.
Wait, I'm not even gonna lie. I actually feel like there should be more of a like a way to like kind of re-get yourself back in, because I feel like, especially just looking at the way every season has ever like played out, I feel like the top 4, maybe like top 5 teams are the only real teams where I'm like, they can win. Everyone, damn near every single other team, I feel like is so 50-50 towards the end of the year, where I feel like all those teams, you know, for the most part, try to make improvements, and some of them end up looking competitive. Look at Florida, right? Where I even like the Vegas situation, where I feel like if they might be better competitors, like at champs, than some of the other teams. Like I feel like, for example,
look,
Seattle, like
this is
they
great.
got it.
But the
Go ahead.
problem with your whole theory, Chris, is that the reason I like it how it is now is because it forces teams to not be complacent in the beginning of the year. Look, we call out teams all the time needing to blow it up when we could see it from a mile away. The team's not going to work, and they're going to suck, and they're going to keep getting shit on, and they wait to the last minute to make a fucking roster change that makes sense and actually gets them better. And then they don't qualify, and they're like, why are all teams going to champs? Well, why the fuck did your team suck for the first 8 months of the year when everyone knew you sucked and everyone was telling you to make a roster change and you fucking wouldn't? So
Wait, but
I don't mind it. Make your
also
changes earlier, or stop being so terrible in the offseason, putting together these garbage rosters that everyone can tell you is a garbage roster.
Wait, but
Here's what I think. Go ahead, Chris.
I just want to say one last thing. Wait, the turnaround, we don't even have a year. Like, that shit's cap. You obviously have way less than a year because the season doesn't start till later, and you don't play
like
for a
8
year.
months,
You
9
play
months.
for like, yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, the turnaround for that is so quick that even teams that do try to make changes, a lot of the time, it's not that drastic of a change. So I feel like having maybe a way to kind of earn your way back outside of the guaranteed teams, like I said, the 4 through 5th teams that are actually good, compared to like the 6 through 12 teams, like the other half of the league, I don't think is a bad idea, because the turnaround from, like, most teams will make changes after 2 majors unless they are completely the world's worst. That means you have two majors, you make those changes, and then you have 3 majors to basically not only qualify but make sure that you have a good roster. I don't think that's enough time for most teams. And we already say there's like a lack of talent. Like there's people that make the argument there's a lack of talent, right? It's way harder than you might think, even if you do try to make changes. So what I'm saying is, I feel like there
comes
should
down
be
to the offseason. The fact that 5 or 6 teams are paying the minimum and 5 or 6 teams are paying supermaxes. That's the issue, and this is always going to happen. If the offseason goes down unfair, this is always going to happen.
But I feel like we have to compensate. I feel like those are things we have to compensate for. That's the reality of our scene. Obviously, we can't say,
What? Then go back to the CWL. If we have to compensate because we agree that the CDL is unbalanced, then that's ridiculous.
Bro,
but I think we're missing the
you're-
point, though.
You got to be realistic here, Pat. It's not like the CDL is just going to dissolve. Like I'm saying, yes, there are definitely things that can happen and stuff like that, but it's not going to happen. So I'm saying we got to be realistic and be like, okay, so maybe there needs to be a fairer way, because currently what's happening, I feel like, at least for me, I feel like it's a good idea having some sort of play in later. I just think there's teams that are way more competitive towards the end of the season than they are at the beginning.
I think, okay, so key thing first off is online points need to be devalued. I think that's the first problem. Before you even start talking about the play-in, I don't think the current point system still makes sense. I think that's an even bigger issue. And then let's try that out.
Same amount of points on LAN than it is online. That's ridiculous.
it makes zero sense. It really does. And what it's doing is it's encouraging teams that are very comfortable from playing from their facility and good at that, and then really, really suck or don't play as well on LAN just like OR season in the chat, who's telling me to mute out, like they're just going to be going on vacation because they can't win on LAN. So like, I just think that's a bigger adjustment to make. And then we figure out, okay, after we've done that, after we run the math, like, are we still having this issue where, it's tight at the bottom and some teams are getting screwed? Then yeah, maybe the last two spots are playing, but I don't think team 11 and 12 to be able to play in. I think it's a 7, 8, 9, 10 thing, but we got to fix the points first.
No, I could see. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you on that part as well. Because
All right.
it would just make it so teams that are not good on LAN can't just like write off their online success.
But then we introduced the 1 and 2 seeds getting buys. Like that's basically all we do. Like that's really all that happens is we just make it so the 1 and 2 seeds get a buy. That's what we used to do, is it not? And it was horrible.
No, I'm not. That's not even.
If you got a play in that you let 9 and 10 go to champs, then you basically
they're not. Here's how you would do it. Is I think it's before champs. I think it's almost like literally the day after the last major. You have to run that play in because you got to give that team enough time to get ready for the event. You can't hurt the top teams by giving them less practice time. Like I think the play-in's a very complicated structural thing that you need to figure out. But like I said, I think first thing is I don't even think our point system even makes sense. I think we got to fix that first before we start talking about whether or not a play-in is a valid way to make the fairest competition possible.
The points online just mean too much, to be honest.
Bro, it's insane.
Mean too little. Or no, too
it's
much.
Insane.
Excuse me, too much.
And we don't even play a balanced schedule, Tom. Like where we
the
see that
schedule's not balanced, and then LAN is just a completely different game than online. And a lot of people are getting their points online. There was a graphic where people were showing the over/unders on people online versus people on LAN. It's actually fucking insane. It was actually nuts.
Boston's a great example. Boston.
You guys be honest? Would you want to see like Vegas or Florida at champs? Like, I'm sorry, but like I don't.
If they deserve to go there,
they're
then
just gonna
sure.
get like 7th, 8th anyway. Like, what's the point?
If they deserve to go there, then they go. Like what?
If they go, then they can upset some teams and create different storylines. I don't think that's a bad thing.
They're most likely just gonna lose and get 7th, 8th.
It doesn't matter about most likely.
It is what it is, bro. Like I don't understand your point here. Like.
I want as few garbage teams to go as possible.
Pat always has
14 champs. Like what?
It's brewing.
I wish that's what we did.
Dude, Pat always has these weird like ultimatum takes where it's not like it's never just it is what it is take. Like for example, Pat will never think that Pat will think that every team in the CDL has the capability to win a championship, which with the way our league is and how small Call of Duty is,
it's a 4-team league. I literally said it's a 4-team league.
When you talk about teams and when you talk about certain takes, you make it seem like some of this stuff is like you can change it, you can fix it. You can't, bro. Sometimes there is going to be a 5th through 6th team. That will always be a 5th through 6th team that is a dark horse team that can make upsets happen, but they're not necessarily going to win championships. There's going to be those feeder teams that might have good
I don't want to watch garbage matchups. I don't even want to watch like Surge play. Like they're garbage.
We should move on, bro. Pat's is fucking, I don't know.
Bro, garbage teams should literally be dissolved. Get as many of these garbage teams out of here as possible. I want a more competitive league. Teams need to make better fucking rosters, period.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for the flank today. But next time we'll be back with a tier list, so make sure to stay tuned for that. We're gonna be ranking the teams and giving our thoughts before champs, and then of course champs is coming up, so just stay tuned for that. But guys, it was awesome having Willie come on today. I think it's awesome. I didn't know how much dude, I was really excited. I don't know if you guys could tell. You probably could tell. I was really excited just to have Willie on the show and have some family watching, and it was awesome having him on and hearing his story a little bit, how he got into baseball and how how tuned in he's been with the COD scene, especially when he started talking about the Fear Moho stuff. I was like, yeah, man, he's been tuning in for a long time. So huge shout out to Willie. It was awesome having him on, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, go to Anchor.fm/play. Check out what the audio says around. And go follow at the Flank on Twitter. Girls doing a phenomenal job running socials per usual. Guys, we're close to 100K on the Twitter, so make sure you guys go and check that out. We're like 3,000 away from 100,000. Once we hit 100K, Gersh is gonna do whatever we want him to do. Whatever the top comment is on that one tweet, we're gonna do it. So yeah, it should be a little fun game. Get it to 100K. You know what to do. Take care, brush your hair, and we'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank. Don't worry about that 7 and 32. It's AID fake. Fucking assholes. Yeah, bro, I don't even know